Cosmic Secret, The Hidden Knowledge of the World Beyond. Written and published by the Zillion Pro. Chapter 1. The Veil Between Worlds. Since the dawn of time, humanity has lived in two realities. One, visible and tangible, the earth beneath our feet, the air we breathe, the sun that warms our skin. The other, hidden and mysterious, an unseen world whispering through dreams, symbols, and intuition. This unseen dimension is what ancient mystics called the world beyond the veil. The veil is not made of cloth, nor is it a wall of stone. It is a boundary of perception, a curtain of consciousness that separates the known from the unknown. It is thin enough for the sensitive soul to feel, yet strong enough to keep most of humanity from wandering too far into realms they are not yet prepared to behold. Throughout history, the existence of this veil has been acknowledged in myths, scriptures, and esoteric traditions. The Egyptians spoke of the Jewat, the hidden world of spirits. The Greeks told of the Elysian fields beyond mortal sight. Indigenous tribes across the earth carried stories of spirit walkers, those who could pierce the unseen and return with wisdom. But the veil serves a divine purpose. It is both protection and invitation. Protection, because not all who dwell beyond it are benevolent. Invitation, because it awakens within us the longing to seek higher truth. Without the veil, the sacred mysteries would lose their sanctity. With the veil, wisdom becomes a treasure that only the worthy can attain. From time to time, cracks appear in this great curtain. A dream so vivid it feels more real than waking life. A déjà vu that whispers of paths we have walked before. The sudden presence of an unseen companion, felt in the silence of the night. These are glimpses through the veil, moments when eternity brushes against time. Yet the veil is not meant to imprison us. Rather, it calls us to grow. The sages and prophets of old learned that the more one purifies the heart, disciplines the mind, and awakens the spirit, the thinner the veil becomes. They understood that the journey beyond the veil is not a journey of distance, but of awareness. In truth, the world beyond is not far away. It intermingles with our own. The unseen realms overlap with the material world like layers of light upon a canvas. Angels, spirits, and energies walk among us, though hidden from the common eye. It is the veil that determines what we can see, hear, and touch. To live with awareness of this veil is to live on the edge of mystery. It is to recognize that behind every shadow lies a greater light, and behind every silence echoes a deeper voice. Those who seek the cosmic secret must first learn to honor the veil, not to tear it down recklessly, but to pass through it with reverence, wisdom, and courage. The journey you now embark on is not just about discovering what lies beyond the veil, but about transforming the self so that you may become worthy of the secrets it conceals. For the veil between worlds is not only outside of us, it is also within us, drawn across the chambers of the human soul. And so, dear seeker, we begin where all great journeys start, at the threshold of mystery. The veil awaits. Chapter 2. The Language of the Cosmos. The universe is not silent. It speaks, not with words as men speak, but with symbols, vibrations, and patterns woven into the fabric of existence. This is the language of the cosmos, the sacred tongue through which creation whispers its secrets to those willing to listen. Since ancient times, seekers of wisdom have observed that nothing in existence is random. The stars trace their paths across the heavens in precise harmony. The tides rise and fall according to the pull of the unseen moon. The seasons come and go with mathematical rhythm. Even the beat of your heart follows a cosmic pulse, echoing the cadence of the greater universe. The ancients did not separate the spiritual from the natural. To them, a falling star was not merely a rock burning through the sky, it was a message. A bird crossing one's path was not coincidence, it was a sign. Numbers, dreams, and synchronicities carried hidden meanings, as if reality itself were a book written by unseen hands. This cosmic language is multidimensional. Numbers are one of its alphabets. The Pythagoreans believed that numbers were the essence of all things. To them, the number 1 symbolized unity, 2 represented duality, 3 signified harmony, and so on. Every number vibrates with a spiritual frequency. Geometry is another dialect of the universe. The spiral of the galaxy mirrors the spiral of a seashell. The fractal patterns of snowflakes resemble the branching of trees, rivers, and even the veins of our bodies. In these shapes, the cosmos reveals its blueprint. Vibrations and sound form yet another tongue. Ancient mystics declared that creation itself was born through sound, the sacred word, the divine utterance. Even modern science now confirms that everything vibrates at its own frequency, resonating in a symphony too vast for the human ear to fully perceive. But perhaps the most intimate form of this language is synchronicity, those moments when the external world mirrors the inner world. A thought arises in your mind, and suddenly you encounter it in conversation, in a book, or on the lips of a stranger. These are not accidents, they are alignments, the cosmos bending closer to say, pay attention. To read the language of the cosmos requires a shift in awareness. One must move from dismissing life as random to perceiving it as deliberate. The seeker becomes like a poet, decoding the metaphors written in the stars, in dreams, in nature, and even in the patterns of daily life. Yet there is caution here. The cosmic language is not meant to feed superstition, but to awaken connection. Not every cloud is a sign, not every whisper is a prophecy. The true initiate learns to discern between noise and message, between chance and divine orchestration. In truth, the cosmos speaks to us constantly, through beauty that stirs the soul, through order hidden in chaos, and through whispers in the silence of meditation. When you attune your spirit to its frequency, you discover that life itself is a dialogue between you and the infinite. The stars are not far away. They burn within your very being, for the same intelligence that choreographs the galaxies also beats in your heart and shapes your destiny. To learn the language of the cosmos is to realize that you are not separate from creation. You are a verse in its eternal song. And so, dear seeker, open your inner ear. The universe is speaking. Can you hear it? Chapter 3: The Eternal Record, Akashic Memory. Hidden beyond the veil of ordinary perception lies a vast field of memory, an eternal archive that contains every thought, word, action, and event that has ever occurred. Mystics call it the Akashic Record, the Book of Life, or the Eternal Chronicle. It is not written on paper, nor carved in stone, but inscribed in the very fabric of existence itself. The word Akasha is ancient, drawn from Sanskrit, meaning ether or the primary substance. To the sages of India, Akasha was the invisible essence out of which all matter emerges and to which all matter returns. They taught that within this living ether, every vibration, every impulse of thought or deed leaves its imprint, like ripples upon the waters of eternity. Imagine, if you will, a library without walls, a scroll without end. In this library, the laughter of a child from 1,000 years ago is preserved alongside the victories of empires long fallen. The silent prayers whispered in hidden chambers, the rise and fall of civilizations, even the smallest gesture of kindness, all are recorded. Nothing is lost, nothing is forgotten. Great seers, prophets, and mystics of the ages have touched this eternal archive. They did not access it with physical eyes, but with the awakened sight of the soul. Through deep meditation, dreams, or spiritual ascent, they peered into the records and returned with visions of the past, insight into the present, and glimpses of possible futures. The Akashic Memory is not bound by time as we know it. Past, present, and potential futures exist simultaneously within its flow. This is why prophets could see tomorrow as clearly as today, and why sages could recall the ancient history of mankind before history was ever written. But the eternal record is not merely a cosmic curiosity. It serves a divine purpose. It is the ledger of justice and the foundation of karma. For every action there is reaction. For every seed sown, a harvest awaits. The records bear witness to the truth, ensuring that no act of virtue is overlooked and no shadow remains unexamined. Yet these records are not simply about judgment, they are also about growth. By accessing the Akashic field, seekers gain understanding of their soul's journey, the lessons they must learn, the patterns they must break, and the destiny they are meant to fulfill. It is like gazing into a mirror that reflects not just who you are, but who you have been and who you are becoming. The question arises, can anyone access the Akashic records? The answer is both yes and no. The records are open to all, for they are the inheritance of every soul. But the depth to which one may read depends on purity of heart, discipline of mind, and readiness of spirit. Just as a child cannot comprehend the writings of a philosopher, so too the unprepared cannot fathom the sacred script of eternity. The ancients warned that to enter the records carelessly is to risk distortion. For the Akashic field is alive, and it responds not only to inquiry but to intention. To seek it with pride or greed is to find only confusion. To approach it with reverence, humility, and love is to find wisdom beyond measure. And so, the eternal record stands as a testament to the interconnectedness of all life. You are not an isolated fragment adrift in the cosmos. You are part of a story, a chapter in the great book of existence. Every choice you make, every thought you carry, is written into the fabric of reality. To know this is to awaken responsibility. It is to live with awareness that nothing is wasted, nothing is unseen. Your life is a message inscribed upon eternity. The question then becomes, what story are you writing? Chapter 4, Guardians of the Hidden Light. Beyond the veil, where the eternal record is preserved and the cosmic secrets are hidden, there stand sentinels, beings of immense wisdom and power, known across cultures as the guardians of the hidden light. Their presence is felt but rarely seen, for they dwell at the threshold between worlds, keeping watch over the mysteries too great, too sacred, to be unveiled to the unready. Every ancient tradition speaks of them, though by different names. The Egyptians told of the Neteru, divine intelligences who guided kings and scribes. The Hebrews wrote of the cherubim, who stood before the gates of Eden, flaming swords in hand, to prevent mankind from prematurely tasting immortality. In the East, the Vedic seers spoke of the Devas, shining ones who preserved cosmic order. The Gnostics whispered of eons, radiant beings who served as intermediaries between humanity and the ineffable source. Though the names differ, the essence remains the same. There exist guardians whose task is not to hoard knowledge, but to safeguard it until the seeker is prepared. For hidden wisdom, if revealed too soon, can destroy rather than enlighten. Fire in the hands of the untrained can warm or can consume. The guardians ensure that divine fire is entrusted only to those who can bear its light. Legends tell of initiates who, in visions or deep meditation, came face to face with these watchers. Some described them as beings robed in light, their eyes blazing like suns, holding scrolls inscribed with living fire. Others saw them as winged forms, vast and terrible in majesty, before whom the human spirit trembled. Still others spoke of gentle presences, whose silence conveyed more wisdom than words ever could. What unites these encounters is the truth that the guardians test those who would cross the threshold. They test not with riddles of the mind but with trials of the heart. The proud are turned back. The selfish are blinded by the very light they seek. Only the humble, the pure in intention, and the steadfast in spirit are permitted to pass. It is said that the guardians are not only cosmic beings, they also manifest through human vessels. At pivotal moments in history, teachers, sages, and prophets have arisen, carrying fragments of the hidden light into the world. Moses descending with tablets of fire, Hermes teaching the secret laws, Buddha revealing the path of awakening. These too were guided by the unseen hands of the guardians. Yet one must not mistake their purpose. They do not exist to dominate humanity, but to guide it toward maturity. Just as a teacher does not give advanced wisdom to a child who has yet to learn the alphabet, so the guardians release knowledge in measured portions, according to the readiness of the age. This is why certain truths remain sealed until humanity itself has evolved enough to receive them without corruption. But there is a paradox here. The guardians both protect and invite. They do not block the way forever, they prepare the worthy to enter. Every challenge you face, every test of integrity, every trial of faith, may in truth be the work of the guardians shaping you into one who can bear the weight of hidden light. For light is not only illumination, it is responsibility. To receive hidden knowledge is to be bound by it, to live in accordance with it, to become a beacon for others stumbling in the dark. The guardians do not ask for perfection, but for sincerity. They do not demand fear, but reverence. And above all, they require love, for love is the only key that can unlock the gates of higher knowledge without distortion. So, dear seeker, when you feel resistance on your path, when wisdom seems withheld, do not despair. Perhaps you are already in the presence of the guardians, being tested, being refined. The hidden light is not far from you. It waits just beyond the threshold, protected not to punish, but to preserve. And when the time is right, when your spirit has been tempered like gold in fire, the guardians will step aside, and the light will shine forth. Chapter 5. Dimensions Beyond the Third. We live in the third dimension, the world of length, width, and height. Here, objects occupy space, time flows in one direction, and the senses define what is real. To most, this realm is the whole of existence. Yet to the mystics, scientists, and visionaries alike, the third dimension is but one layer in a vast, multi-dimensional reality. Imagine reality as a great ladder of frequencies. Each rung represents a dimension, a realm vibrating at a higher or subtler rate than the one below. The third dimension is not the top of this ladder, it is only a step. Beyond it lie higher planes, hidden not by distance but by vibration. The fourth dimension is often described as the realm of time and astral experience. Here, thought and emotion take form, creating landscapes shaped by consciousness itself. Dreams, visions, and out-of-body journeys draw from this field. For the mystics, it is the gateway world, the place between the physical and the eternal. For scientists, time, the fourth coordinate, remains one of the great mysteries of relativity. Both point to the same truth. The fourth dimension bends perception, stretching beyond what our senses can normally grasp. The fifth dimension has been spoken of as the realm of pure possibility, where time no longer moves in a straight line but in infinite branching paths. In this field, what we call future exists as patterns of potential waiting to crystallize. The fifth dimension is the domain of choice and alignment. Here, one perceives not only what is, but what could be. To touch it is to realize that destiny is not fixed. It is a tapestry woven moment by moment from infinite threads. Beyond the fifth, sages speak of higher dimensions, the sixth, seventh, and beyond, where form gives way to pure energy, and energy dissolves into light, consciousness, and finally unity. The sixth is said to hold the archetypes of creation, the divine blueprints. The seventh and eighth vibrate as realms of pure light, where separation ceases. The ninth and beyond are mysteries even to the greatest adepts, domains where the soul dissolves into the infinite, where words fail and silence alone can bear witness. Modern science, too, whispers of these hidden realms. String theory proposes that the universe may contain 10 or even 11 dimensions, curled beyond our perception, invisible yet essential to the fabric of reality. Mysticism and physics, though speaking different tongues, converge on the same revelation. The cosmos is far greater, far more layered than the human eye can see. Yet, why are these dimensions hidden? Why can we not simply step into them as one walks from one room to another? The answer is vibration. Just as a radio cannot tune into all stations at once, the human mind cannot yet sustain the frequencies of higher planes. To perceive them requires the awakening of consciousness, a refinement of thought and spirit. Still glimpses come. In meditation, in deep prayer, in moments of great love or profound silence, the veil lifts and the higher dimensions touch us. Time slows, space dissolves. A great oneness overwhelms us, and for a heartbeat we remember, we are more than flesh and bone. We are multidimensional beings, wearing the garment of the third dimension but belonging to eternity. The journey through dimensions is not about escape, but expansion. It is not about abandoning the third dimension, but about integrating it into the greater whole. For the purpose of ascending into higher realms is not to despise the earth, but to illuminate it, to bring the wisdom of the higher into the substance of the lower. And so, dear seeker, the path stretches upward, rung by rung, frequency by frequency. Beyond the third dimension lies a universe vast and luminous, awaiting the awakened soul. Step lightly, for every higher dimension is not just a place, it is a state of being. Chapter 6: The Cosmic Laws of Power. The universe is not ruled by chance. Beneath the chaos of appearances lies an order, subtle, invisible, yet unbreakable. This order is sustained by principles, ancient and eternal, known to the wise as the cosmic laws of power. They are not laws imposed by man, nor decrees of kings, but divine currents that govern both the stars in their orbits and the human soul in its journey. To align with these laws is to move with the current of creation. To resist them is to struggle in vain, like one rowing against a cosmic tide. The great masters of ages past, Hermes of Egypt, sages of India, prophets of Israel, all spoke of these hidden laws veiled in parables and symbols. Today, the seeker is called to rediscover them, not as superstition, but as living truth. Law 1: The Law of Vibration. Everything in the universe moves, nothing rests. From the smallest atom to the grandest galaxy, all is in motion, pulsing with frequency. Your thoughts, your emotions, your very body, each vibrates at a certain level, like attracts like. Raise your vibration and you draw higher realities to yourself. Lower it and you descend into shadow. To command power, one must first master vibration. Law 2: The Law of Correspondence. As above, so below. As within, so without. The microcosm reflects the macrocosm, and the outer world mirrors the inner. If there is conflict within you, there will be turmoil around you. If there is harmony within, peace follows you like a shadow. The wise do not seek to change the world first. They transform the self, knowing the world will reflect their state. Law 3: The Law of Cause and Effect. Nothing happens by accident. Every action sets in motion a chain of reactions. Karma is not punishment. It is simply the echo of your deeds returning to you. Plant seeds of love and love will return. Sow deceit and deceit will find you. Power comes not from escaping this law, but from consciously shaping the causes you set in motion. Law 4: The Law of Polarity. Everything contains its opposite. Light and darkness, joy and sorrow, birth and death, all are two sides of the same coin. What we call opposites are but extremes of the same reality. Understanding polarity allows the wise to transform suffering into strength, fear into courage, and limitation into liberation. Power lies in transcending duality, not being enslaved by it. Law 5: The Law of Rhythm. All things rise and fall. Day follows night, tides ebb and flow, kingdoms ascend and decline. The universe moves in cycles, and so do our lives. The wise do not resist the tides, they learn to flow with them. When winter comes, they rest. When spring returns, they sow. To align with rhythm is to ride the wave of time instead of drowning in it. Law 6: The Law of Gender. Masculine and feminine are present in all things, not merely in biology but in energy. The masculine is active, initiating, projecting. The feminine is receptive, nurturing, creative. Both dwell within the soul and both must be balanced. Too much of one leads to imbalance. Harmony births creation. All power is born from union. Law 7: The Law of Unity. Beneath the illusion of separation, all is one. Every star, every soul, every breath of wind arises from the same source. To harm another is to harm oneself. To lift another is to lift oneself. The great secret of power is not domination, but alignment with this unity. For the one who moves in oneness cannot be divided, and the one who walks in harmony cannot be defeated. These laws are not mere concepts, they are living forces. Ignore them and you stumble in darkness. Embrace them and you walk with the rhythm of the cosmos. The kings and priests of old guarded these truths because they understood. Knowledge of the laws is knowledge of creation itself. But the guardians of hidden light revealed them not to enslave, but to awaken. For power was never meant for the few, but for all who are willing to walk the path of wisdom. Dear seeker, engrave these laws upon your soul, not as rigid commandments but as guiding stars. Live them, and you will discover that the cosmos does not resist you, it moves with you. For when a man or woman aligns with the laws of power, they themselves become a law unto the world. Chapter 7. The Path of the Initiate. There comes a moment in every seeker's life when curiosity is no longer enough. To read of mysteries, to hear of hidden laws, to marvel at legends, these are but the whispers at the gate. But beyond the gate lies a path, a narrow road walked not by the many but by the few. This is the path of the initiate. The initiate is not chosen by men nor by institutions. The call comes from within, a stirring in the soul that says, there must be more. Once this call is heard, it cannot be silenced. The seeker stands at the threshold, confronted by a choice, to turn back to the comfort of the familiar or to step forward into the unknown. The path begins with purification, not of the body alone, but of the heart and mind. The initiate learns to strip away illusions, to confront shadows, to cleanse themselves of attachments that bind. Pride, fear, and selfish desire must be burned away in the fire of self-honesty. This is the first trial, for many wish to hold the light while clinging to the darkness they love. Few succeed. The second stage is discipline. The initiate discovers that true power requires structure. Ancient mystery schools demanded silence, fasting, study, and meditation. The modern seeker, too, must cultivate patience, focus, and mastery of the will. For without discipline, the higher realms remain closed. The unsteady cannot hold the weight of truth. Then comes trial by darkness. Every initiate, before receiving light, must descend into the depths of their own being. In visions, in dreams, or in waking life, they encounter their fears, their weaknesses, their inner demons. This descent is not punishment, it is initiation. For one cannot command the powers of the cosmos without first mastering the shadows within. If they endure, the initiate is led into illumination. Knowledge hidden to the ordinary mind begins to unfold. Symbols come alive. Synchronicities multiply, and wisdom streams from the eternal record. The initiate learns not only to read the cosmic language but to live it. They become attuned to laws higher than human law, seeing the unseen threads that weave together fate and freedom. Yet initiation does not end in illumination. It culminates in service. For the final test of the initiate is not what they know, but what they do. The mysteries are not given for selfish gain, but for the uplifting of others. Every true initiate becomes a bearer of light, guiding others along the path, even if silently, through their presence and their life. Legends tell of great initiates: Moses upon Sinai, receiving fire upon stone; Buddha beneath the Bodhi tree, awakened in silence; Christ in the wilderness, facing the adversary; the sages of Egypt, Babylon, and India, tested by ordeal and crowned with wisdom. Their lives remind us that initiation is not about titles, robes, or secret halls. It is about transformation of the soul. And so, dear seeker, if you have heard the call, know this: the path will not be easy, but it will be worth it. Every step burns away the dross and reveals the gold. Every trial strips away the false self to reveal the eternal self. The path of the initiate is not a destination but a becoming, a journey into the deepest truth of who you are and who you are destined to be. The gates stand before you, the guardians watch, the choice is yours. Chapter 8. The Dark Veil, Secrets Forbidden to Man. Since the dawn of civilization, humankind has hungered for knowledge. But not all knowledge is meant to be consumed. Some truths, veiled in shadows, carry the weight of unbearable consequence. The ancients called this the dark veil, a barrier woven not to conceal treasures of wisdom, but to shield fragile minds from forces that could shatter their very essence. The dark veil represents that realm of forbidden knowledge, truths that corrupt the unready, powers that burn the uninitiated, and mysteries that carry a price heavier than gold or glory. In every tradition, warnings echo: do not eat from the fruit of this tree, do not utter the unspeakable names, do not summon what you cannot command. These are not empty cautions, but protective walls built upon the scars of those who dared to trespass too far. The nature of forbidden knowledge. What makes certain knowledge forbidden? It is not the knowledge itself, but the impact it has upon the seeker. Some truths unveil realities so vast that the human psyche, conditioned by linear time and limited perception, collapses under their weight. Others unlock energies that, without the balance of wisdom, become destructive. To know is to wield. To wield without mastery is to invite chaos. In many mystery schools, forbidden teachings were not denied forever, but withheld until the disciple had undergone purifications of body, soul, and spirit. Only those proven in humility, discipline, and selflessness were granted access. In this lies the paradox. The more one seeks knowledge for selfish gain, the further it retreats into shadow. The perils of the dark veil. History whispers of civilizations that dared to pierce the forbidden. The Atlanteans, it is said, abused the energies of the crystal fire, tearing rifts between dimensions and summoning forces beyond their control. Their cities of light became tombs beneath the waves. The Tower of Babel, reaching toward the heavens, symbolizes humanity's reckless pursuit of divine secrets without the foundation of spiritual maturity. The dark veil guards secrets of creation itself: how worlds are formed, how souls are bound, how time bends. To misuse such knowledge is to risk unraveling the fabric of existence. And so, across cultures, the higher laws concealed themselves in riddles, allegories, and symbols, only decipherable by those whose hearts burned with the light of higher love. The gatekeepers of the forbidden. The guardians of hidden wisdom do not merely prevent entry, they test the seeker. In the ancient texts, the cherubim with flaming swords stood at Eden's gate, ensuring that fallen man could not grasp immortality. In Egyptian temples, initiates passed through chambers of silence and darkness, facing trials of fear, temptation, and illusion. Those who failed returned broken, or did not return at all. These guardians represent an eternal truth. Not every door must be opened, and not every path must be walked. The dark veil is not punishment, but protection. It ensures that wisdom is aligned with virtue before power is granted. Whispers of the forbidden today. Even in the modern age, remnants of the forbidden whisper to us. Quantum experiments hint at realities that mirror ancient metaphysical warnings. Secret societies guard rituals that trace back to times before recorded history. Sacred texts across traditions hint at books sealed until the end of days, implying that some knowledge is timed for revelation only when humanity is prepared to bear it. And yet curiosity tempts. Many seek shortcuts through occult practices, untested portals of the mind, or reckless manipulation of energies. The results are often confusion, imbalance, and spiritual collapse. For without purity of intent, the forbidden destroys rather than enlightens. The wisdom beyond the veil. To approach the dark veil is to learn patience, humility, and surrender. The initiate understands that forbidden knowledge is not evil in itself, but premature access is perilous. True wisdom lies not in tearing down the veil, but in preparing the soul so that, in due season, the veil is lifted by grace. The veil of secrecy exists not to withhold, but to guide. In time, as humanity evolves, certain mysteries will be unveiled, not through force, but through alignment with divine order. Until then, the dark veil stands as both warning and promise. There are realms of power yet undisclosed, waiting for those who are ready to bear their weight. Chapter 9. Portals and Gateways. All across the world, there exist points where the veil between worlds grows thin, places where the invisible brushes against the visible, where the ordinary becomes extraordinary. These are the portals and gateways, sacred junctions connecting the physical plane with higher realms. To the uninitiated, they are simply mountains, rivers, temples, or deserts. To the seeker, they are thresholds of transformation, corridors to hidden knowledge, and bridges to the cosmos itself. Natural portals. Mountains, deep forests, caves, and oceans have long been recognized as natural gateways. In the Himalayas, sages speak of hidden monasteries perched at elevation where the mind expands beyond ordinary perception. In the deserts of Egypt, the sands themselves were said to hum with ancient energies. In the deep caverns of the earth, initiates have reported sensations of timelessness, as if the passage through stone brought them closer to eternity. The earth itself pulses with subtle energy lines, often called ley lines, interconnecting sacred sites. At intersections of these lines, energies converge, creating natural conduits for consciousness. Standing upon such a nexus, the initiate feels the world vibrate with unseen currents, a tangible reminder that space is more than empty distance. It is alive and responsive to awareness. Man-made gateways. Throughout history, humanity has constructed portals, temples, pyramids, ziggurats, and monoliths, aligned precisely with celestial bodies. The pyramids of Giza are aligned with the stars of Orion, said to mirror the heavens themselves. Stonehenge and other megalithic circles track the movement of the sun and moon, creating points where cosmic rhythm intersects human presence. These structures amplify spiritual resonance, making it easier for the mind to tune into higher frequencies. Astral and inner gateways. Not all gateways exist in the material world. The most profound portals are inner, those found within the mind, the heart, and the soul. Meditation, prayer, lucid dreaming, and deep trance can open corridors through which consciousness travels beyond the third dimension. The astral plane, the Akashic records, and higher realms are accessible to those who know how to align their inner frequency with the cosmic flow. The mechanics of portals. Portals are not merely symbolic, they are energetic phenomena. They are points of concentrated vibration where the normal boundaries of space and time bend. At such locations, thought becomes powerful, intention becomes visible, and the unseen can reveal itself. Certain celestial alignments, such as solstices, equinoxes, or planetary conjunctions, act as keys unlocking access to higher planes. Risks and responsibilities. To pass through a portal is to encounter forces beyond ordinary control. Misalignment of intent can lead to confusion, spiritual exhaustion, or encounters with entities that are not benevolent. Just as a physical doorway leads somewhere beyond sight, so too must one step through these gateways with preparation, protection, and discernment. The seeker must cultivate clarity of purpose, purity of heart, and discipline of mind. Portals as catalysts of transformation. The purpose of portals is not simply travel, it is transformation. Every gateway is a mirror, reflecting the inner state of the traveler. The journey through a portal alters perception, heightens awareness, and accelerates spiritual evolution. They are the cosmic laboratories where the soul experiments with higher knowledge and experiences its multidimensional nature. Some portals are permanent, etched into the landscape or woven into the energy grid of the world. Others are temporary, opening only during rare alignments, appearing as fleeting moments in dreams, visions, or synchronicities. The initiate learns to recognize these opportunities, for in these moments, the unseen becomes tangible, and destiny touches the seeker directly. The call to the seeker. Dear traveler, understand this. The portals are always present. The gateways exist not only in distant mountains, ancient temples, or astral planes, but within you. Every thought, every intention, every act of love or courage opens a doorway to higher realms. The world beyond is never far. It is merely a step away, waiting for the initiate who dares to move beyond fear and limitation. Walk with reverence, step with purpose, and know that each portal is not an escape, but a passage to deeper awareness, a bridge to the cosmic secret that the universe patiently waits to reveal. Chapter 10: The Cosmic Battle of Light and Darkness. Beyond the veil, beyond the visible world, a battle rages. It is eternal, ancient, and unseen by most of humanity, a struggle not of flesh and blood, but of forces, frequencies, and consciousness. This is the cosmic battle of light and darkness, the ceaseless conflict that shapes the destinies of worlds, souls, and the very fabric of reality. The nature of the battle. The battle is not always dramatic or loud. Often, it is subtle, played out in the currents of thought, in the vibrations of intention, and in the unseen choices made by every living being. Light represents alignment with truth, love, creation, and unity. Darkness represents separation, deception, destruction, and entropy. Both exist in every corner of existence, from the farthest star to the innermost chamber of the human heart. Yet it is not a duel of equals. Darkness thrives where ignorance, fear, and selfishness dominate. Light thrives where awareness, courage, and integrity reign. The universe, in its infinite wisdom, allows the struggle to continue, not to punish, but to teach, refine, and awaken. The cosmic players. Across cultures and ages, the battle has been described in many forms. Angels versus demons, devas versus asuras, gods versus titans. Names and stories change, but the essence remains. There are entities, energies, and intelligences aligned with light and others aligned with shadow. The light seeks to guide, illuminate, and elevate. It works patiently, often invisibly, nudging humanity toward awakening. The darkness seeks to deceive, distract, and enslave. It operates through fear, confusion, and hidden manipulation. Both seek influence over consciousness, for the mind and soul are the battlegrounds of creation itself. The battle within. The most significant battlefield is not in distant galaxies or unseen realms. It is within you. Every choice between truth and deception, love and hatred, selflessness and selfishness, mirrors the larger cosmic war. The initiate learns that by mastering inner darkness, by confronting fear and shadow without denial, one contributes to the triumph of light in the universe. Light does not destroy darkness, it transforms it. Darkness cannot exist without light, and light cannot shine without shadow. The cosmic war is therefore not a war of annihilation, but of balance, refinement, and evolution. Every act of virtue, every moment of courage, and every expression of compassion strengthens the forces of light and shifts the battle toward harmony. The signs of conflict. The battle manifests in both subtle and obvious ways. Sudden surges of inspiration or despair, synchronicities that guide or mislead, societal upheavals, natural disasters, and spiritual awakenings. Every era experiences its own reflection of the cosmic struggle. Those who can perceive it recognize that history, culture, and human events are intertwined with unseen energies, and that each soul's choices resonate far beyond personal consequence. The role of the initiate. To walk the path of initiation is to become a conscious participant in this eternal struggle. The initiate does not fight blindly, nor does one succumb to fear. Instead, the initiate aligns with light through knowledge, discipline, and love. They carry awareness as armor, intention as a sword, and courage as their shield. Through prayer, meditation, service, and mastery of self, the initiate influences the battle, not as a conqueror, but as a steward of balance. Every act of alignment with cosmic law strengthens light and aids the evolution of creation. The promise of resolution. The cosmic battle is ongoing, yet it is not endless in the same sense as a mere struggle. Darkness is ultimately contingent upon ignorance, separation, and resistance. Light is eternal, infinite, and aligned with the creative pulse of the universe. Those who awaken, who walk the path of the initiate, participate in a process of collective awakening, accelerating the triumph of harmony, understanding, and cosmic order. Dear seeker, understand this. The battle is both vast and intimate. It is fought across galaxies and within the depths of your own consciousness. You are both witness and warrior, participant and observer. The choices you make, the intentions you cultivate, the courage you summon, these are the sparks that tip the balance. Step forward with awareness, for you are part of this eternal struggle. Let your heart be guided by light, your mind sharpened by wisdom, and your spirit strengthened by truth. The cosmic battle rages, but in each awakened soul, the victory of light has already begun. Chapter 11. The Hidden Powers of the Human Spirit. Within each human being lies a universe, a vast, uncharted realm of potential, waiting to awaken. While the world teaches limits, routine, and conformity, the cosmos whispers of abilities beyond ordinary perception. These are the hidden powers of the human spirit, gifts that, when recognized and harnessed, can bridge the mortal and the eternal. The power of consciousness. Consciousness is not merely awareness, it is the creative engine of existence. Every thought, intention, and focus shapes reality in subtle yet profound ways. Those who cultivate heightened awareness begin to perceive patterns others overlook, synchronicities, hidden opportunities, and the language of the cosmos itself. Through meditation, reflection, and disciplined focus, the mind can become a conduit for guidance from higher realms. The power of intuition. Intuition is the soul's compass, a silent, unerring guidance that surpasses logic and sensory input. Often dismissed as coincidence or gut feeling, intuition is the human spirit tapping into higher frequencies, accessing knowledge from the Akashic field, or resonating with cosmic patterns. The initiate learns to distinguish intuition from fear or desire, allowing it to guide action with clarity and precision. The power of emotional resonance. Emotions are not weaknesses, they are energy in motion. Love, compassion, gratitude, and joy elevate the vibration of the spirit, aligning it with higher planes. Conversely, fear, envy, and hatred anchor the soul in lower frequencies. Mastery of emotion is mastery of power. Those who harmonize their inner state can influence their external reality, create resonance in others, and access states of higher consciousness. The power of imagination. The imagination is the portal to unseen worlds. It is the laboratory of creation, where ideas, visions, and possibilities take shape before manifesting in the physical world. The human spirit, when directed intentionally, can use imagination to visualize outcomes, solve problems beyond conventional means, and even explore astral and multidimensional realms. The power of will. The will is the bridge between thought and manifestation. It is the disciplined focus that channels consciousness, intuition, emotion, and imagination into purposeful action. The initiate learns that true will is not coercion, but alignment, bringing oneself into harmony with the laws of the cosmos so that action flows with the current of creation rather than against it. The power of connection. The human spirit is not isolated. It is part of a vast web of life, consciousness, and energy. Every individual has the capacity to tune into this network, perceiving guidance, receiving energy, and influencing the collective. Empaths, visionaries, healers, and leaders are all examples of humans accessing this hidden connectivity. Cultivating awareness of this connection allows one to navigate life with wisdom, influence, and grace. Awakening the powers within. These hidden powers are dormant in most because they are untrained, unrecognized, or feared. Awakening requires discipline, courage, and intentionality. Meditation and contemplation sharpen consciousness and reveal subtle currents. Emotional mastery aligns vibration with higher frequencies. Visualization and imagination expand perception beyond the ordinary. Purposeful action channels will into creation. Service and love connect the individual to the greater whole. Through these practices, the human spirit transcends limitation. It touches higher realms, perceives hidden truths, and participates consciously in the unfolding of the universe. The ancients knew this. They called it enlightenment, gnosis, or illumination. Today, the seeker who understands these hidden powers steps into the same current that guided sages, prophets, and mystics. They are no longer mere observers of the cosmos. They are co-creators, wielding the latent energy within to transform self, world, and destiny. Dear seeker, the power lies within you. The cosmos waits not outside but within the chambers of your spirit. Unlock it, nurture it, and let it rise, for in the awakening of the human spirit, the hidden knowledge of the universe becomes your living reality.